Dear Dr. Brown, on the night that I go back in time, you will be shot by terrorists. Please take whatever precautions are necessary to prevent this terrible disaster.
In the 1985 class. About it.
I could just go back early and warn him.
I have to tell you about the future!
Doc, about... When are we?
October 21st, 2015.
2015?
The Twin Towers scene takes place in October 2015, and the towers appear on a movie screen, meaning the McFly family is watching a secretly placed Twin Towers movie released on October 2015, directed by Robert Zemeckis. So how could it be that now, in the real October 2015, a major Hollywood production is about to hit theaters worldwide, and it is exclusively about the Twin Towers? It happens to be directed by Robert Zemeckis. The title of this new Twin Towers film is The Walk, and this new Twin Towers film has the exact same release date as the secret Twin Towers film planted in Back to the Future, which exposes the symbolism of the pines and depicts the Twin Towers collapse. So why would Zemeckis now draw our attention to it with a major Hollywood production? Back to the Future was released in 1985, The Walk in 2015, exposing this warning after 30 years. Marty writes this warning into a letter. He seals it shut, intending for it to remain hidden for a specific amount of time.
What's the meaning of this?
Find out in 30 years!
What's the meaning of this?
Find out in 30 years!
What's the meaning of this?
Find out in 30 years.
It's about the future, isn't it? It's information
Wait a
about
minute.
the future. I warn you about this, kid. The consequences could be disastrous.
Doc, that's a risk you're gonna have to take. Your life depends on it.
No! I refuse to accept the responsibility.
In that case, I'll tell you straight out.